All right. Let's go. Everybody, welcome back again. This is a Chilling with Top Gamer. Now, basically, I know things have been chaotic because everyone's been speculating and going back and forth about when the trailer for GTA 6 is going to drop. Now, if anyone else hasn't been paying attention, which I'm sure that all of you right now have, hold on a minute here. Just give me a minute. Bear with me here. Because I don't know if my headset is backwards here. If my son reversed things on me here. But anyway, but basically, I'm sure that all of you have been paying attention by now to the internet of how things are going now. Hold on, let me switch. Make sure that everything's all good here. Alright. But anyway, I just want to make sure that everything's all good here because my son decides to use my headset at times, and he made Daddy's one ear thing come off today on me. So bear with me in case you have any hearing concerns. Let me know, tip me off in the chat, say, hey, yo, I can't hear you anything. I'm sure that you guys by now have probably seen on the internet because everybody's been wondering about a release date. Now, what I've seen and from today's earning call, basically they're saying June 21st. Now, I basically predicted from the month of June or possibly close to July that they were considering for trailer 3 for Grand Theft Auto 6. Now that was basically my prediction in between there. So basically, I was right. Because I think the reason why they're doing that is because either way, people are going to invest in this game, folks. Hands down, they're going to have people wanting to get their hands on this. So whatever day or whatever time this trailer drops, they know that people are going to invest. People are going to pre-order. People are going to get this, whether it is disc or digital. People are going to invest in this. Now, personally, me, this is going to be part of my collection. So I'm going to invest in this hands down. Your big guy right here, I'm going to get this hands down because it's part of my collection. It's what I'm going to add to my collection. So yeah, basically, hands down, I basically thought nothing of it for the 21st release date. So, But I'm sorry if I'm a little bit behind, or I was a little bit behind on getting here, because I've been tired since I had to get up early, take my son to 2 appointments this week. So I had to, ew, sorry about that. I do apologize, but I had to lay down and take a little bit of a rest. Um, so basically, I just wanted to cover that. As far as their earnings go, I'm sure that went successful. Because usually Take Two Interactive's earnings calls usually are successful when they have them. Because that's usually a projection of their finances for um, this year, the rest of this year, and the coming year ahead of how it's going to do for any games they got coming, like Grand Theft Auto 6 and any of theirs that are coming in the long run. Plus, it's a chance for them to also talk with investors beforehand. So they meet with their teams, and they also meet with the investors prior to everything that is going to be getting done. So, but I don't see any hang-ups. And according to Strauss Zelnick, he doesn't see any hang-ups either. Because all the announcements he's made so far, he says that everything is on the up and up. You know, November 19th, 2026. You know, is the release date. So he does not see any hang-ups with Rockstar. He does not see anything that is going to slow this down. The release date is what it is. So, and usually Rockstar themselves, if they were going to delay anything, they would actually tell people, you know. And I don't think that they want to really have to delay anything now, because when it's only just a couple of more months away from the date, I don't see it happening. They have been making us wait for a good while now for this, so I really don't see anything getting delayed at this point. Not when it's come this far. The other thing is Division 3, okay? I've also been paying attention to the internet for Division 3. This is the second thing that I've also been keeping an eye on as of late too. Is Division 3 is almost here. From what I did hear on the internet, they did, which is Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Wildlands. I was so hooked on that game that I could not believe the amazing missions in it, the hours of fun, the continuous adventures I found myself on. You know, that I just continuously could not set the controller down, not even for a few minutes. Like, I would look at my phone maybe for a few minutes while playing the game, but that was it. You know, I was right back in it. Somebody messaged me, or I'd get a Discord notification or something, but after that I'd look at it for a bit, and then I was right back to playing. Because I could not stop. Like, it was so much fun. Coordinating, raising the level of my weapon, do with this part of it or that part of it to make it stronger, putting a better suppressor on it, looking for a better gun clip to make it better when I shoot, putting a better gun stock for stability. Like, that's what makes it fun, is doing that. It's the same as Division 2. Like, when you go and get different gear pieces, in Division 2, and you can break that stuff down. Look for this gear piece. It's going to be a better number and a better better strength for your agent. So when you're out there dealing with these guys, you got stronger gear pieces, stronger weapons to take down your enemies. You know, that's what makes the game awesome. Because along the way, you're not just teaming up with other agents, but you're also getting different gear pieces. So say if some of your gear pieces are wearing down, you can get other gear pieces that along the way is going to build you up and help you out. So each mission you deal with, you can go deal with, you can go into it stronger and tougher to help yourself out. And that's what I love about the Ubisoft games, especially the ones that are military based, is what they offer like that. Ways to build such awesome gear pieces when you go into war and stuff like that. Because I've played other games that didn't offer things like that. Because nowadays it's kind of hard to find games that are like that. Now, don't get me wrong, Call of Duty's okay. Um, I've played the Call of Duty games, and it's okay. I did have some fun with it. I did enjoy them when I played it. But what they've done, kind of with the modern ones now, um, I don't know. I don't know where they were thinking, in what direction of like the changes they made to them. Yeah, especially doing 1,000 out of 1,000 in multiplayer of that achievement. Because the thing of it is, when you play multiplayer and you got to get an achievement of 1,000 out of 1,000, it's not just you that's got to get that achievement 1,000 out of 1,000. It's also that player on the other end. So it's both of you trying to get the same achievement. So both of you have to try to kill each other just to get the same achievement. Which is crazy because it makes it difficult, because you got two people trying to go for the same challenge. So it's like, that's a way to get drove nuts. That's why a lot of times the games that I find myself playing are games like Ghost Recon Wildlands, Division 2. There's times I've dabbled on GTA 5 online at times, but I don't go on there as much anymore. The wrestling games, 2K25, I've gone on there a little bit at a time. But honestly, another thing that makes me not really want to play those anymore is the way that the wrestling business has changed now. The things that they've done with these modern wrestling games, like there's matches that they've cut out, there's talent that have been cut out. It doesn't have the same appeal as it used to have. Like, you used to have this appeal, like, you go crazy of wanting to do that. You would go crazy of wanting to play them. But now it's like, it's just something that you don't want to get into anymore. Not like you used to. Like, the desire of wanting to play the wrestling games are just not there. There used to be a nostalgia factor to the wrestling games that I don't see anymore. you know. So that's why I don't choose to play them anymore. Just a personal choice. But I'll never stop playing Grand Theft Auto games. I'll never quit with the Ubisoft and Division 2. And, I'll never stop playing those games like that, or Resident Evil 9, Village 7. Um, yeah, because games like that, those are fun. Especially when you want a game where you're going to be able to stay busy, something that constantly keeps you going. Um, that's basically where it's at. You know, games like that. I found myself going back to Hitman again, which the Hitman games are fun, and the reason why I say those are fun as well is how you can plan your missions, each of them one by one, of how you can go after your targets to take down your enemy targets, and how you can hit them before they even realize what happens to them. That's the fun part as well about it, is being like this snake in the grass slithering. You go slow at it, and then you come out of nowhere. And if you can hit your targets before they even know what hit them, that's the fun part about it. It's the enjoyable part about it. So that's where I get my fun with the Hitman games at. Now when it comes to Hitman 4, I can't wait. I really can't wait to see what they'll do with that. The James Bond game, no, I'm not really a fan of James Bond and all that. And I've seen how some people are saying that there's similar mechanics in James Bond that are somewhat similar to Hitman. But honestly, I don't think you're going to get too many mechanics that are like that. You might have similar ones, but in a way, what do you expect? Alright? It's made by the same company, so you might have little bits of mechanics in there because it's made by the same company. That's what you got to take into account. So it's not purposely that those mechanics are in there. I just really think it's awesome that IOA gave it a chance and gave it a shot to make a Bond game, because this was the first time for them. So at least they gave an opportunity, or at least they were given an opportunity to make a game that they have never made before. So they took a chance on making a game that was never done before by them. So I think that's awesome that they took this and ran with it and designed this, and I think they did a good job. I really do. I think they have done a great job with it. The music, the character work. I think they've done an alright job on this for a first time of making a James Bond game. I don't knock them for what they've done with it. I would have never thought they would have made a James Bond game, but hey, they gave it their all. So, yeah. Trying to still get with it, guys. So I apologize for the yawning. But no, I mean, it was a good effort for them. But they don't disappoint. You know, I'm sure when it comes to Hitman 4, they ain't gonna disappoint there as well. And I could tell you, there's a lot of other games that I have also done in the form of some shorts, which let me look them up here so far. Even the Venom game, when that comes out, I'm sure that is going to hit well. I can't believe that it's already been a year for the DLC of Brooklyn for Division 2. It would be awesome to see a collector's edition and SmackDown versus Raw. It would be awesome for them to honestly bring back a SmackDown versus Raw game. Now, I don't know if anyone remembers the SmackDown versus Raw series, but I remember it vividly, and I remember how much fun I had with that because there was a lot of choices and different ways you could choose how things went when you had your created wrestler, about attacks and things you could do throughout your story, different ways you could interact with different wrestlers, different match types, and things like that. You had more freedom in those. These wrestling games now, there's a lot they've changed with them, but it hasn't changed for the better. To tell you the truth, I have not seen any changes for the better in them. Um, yeah, so. As well, I am working hard on the channel by bringing out different games on the channel. Right now, it is rough, like I've said, because I record things on my phone. This right now, what I do live right here, this is pretty much the live show that I do every Thursday. So right now, the way I record on my phone and post videos up, that's pretty much the way that I have to do it right now until I reach a certain subscriber count. So if I can reach 50 subscribers or more, then I can start doing live and be interactive with you guys. So whenever I'm doing my gaming content, you guys will be able to be interactive and see that rather than me always having to post videos up. But I don't mind posting videos up for all of you, recording them and posting them up. So I try to get them up whenever I can, or when I'm not busy having to do other things like going to appointments that's important, or having to take my son to appointments, or doing things in between from my home. But I do appreciate the support and keep it coming, because the more you guys support and help this channel out, the more I could do for you guys on this channel. The more I could get a better camera in the long run, better ways I could get to be able to film videos. You guys help and support. With the support you give me, I can build better ways to make everything better for this channel, so I can produce the best quality things, the best quality gaming videos, the best quality live shows each and every Thursday. There's more that can be done for the channel, because this channel that I'm creating, talking about video games, which I'm passionate about, having discussions with all of you, with my viewers that tune in every week. You guys that tune in, or people that come in and watch my videos after I posted them up. It means a lot to me, because this is what I do now. This is pretty much my life that I do. because unfortunately having a back that is completely shot, where I can't work a regular job, this is what I do. This is my hobby, but this is also something that I take as a little bit of a career, but it's something I also love to do because video games is something I'm passionate about. I love games. I've loved putting myself into stories in the video games that is made. So it's been a passion of mine. So I just want to let you guys know that this channel I'm building with a community with all of you, that whatever I do for this channel, I'm doing it for this channel. So all these video games that are coming out, I'm excited for them. I'm excited for the best potential, the best graphics, the best detail, the success of them when they do drop them, when they release them. I'm excited for it. I'm hoping for the hugest success that these games could possibly get. Because the thing is, video games are fun for me. It helps me out, it gets me outside myself, and it helps me out through a lot of tough things in my life. A lot of the streamers that I follow and people that I watch help me out to get through a lot of tough things. Because if I didn't have content creators besides myself, that being amongst a few, if not a good dozen, if I didn't have other content creators to look up to, I wouldn't be here today. Because I can't tell you many times with the back trouble and the struggles with that, that all the pain I get in, that some days I feel like just wanting to roll up into a ball and just be done, or cry. I just roll up into a ball and cry, because the thing is, when you deal with a back injury as severe as mine, it's not the easiest, and when you can't work like that 9 to 5 job, it's rough. It's even rough whenever you are trying to take care of everything in your own home. So I'm like, I'll do this. I'll go and I'll do my YouTube channel. And I'm like, I want to build a community. I want to do something that someday is going to mean something. So I said to myself, I'm like, okay, well, I've been a gamer for almost 40 years now. Why not make a channel on it? Why not build a community? Sure, it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging. But you know what? Show me a thing that has not been challenging. Every day when I go to bed, and I wake up the next day, getting up to put my feet on solid ground is difficult. Is a challenge. So this is a challenge, building this channel. This is a challenge I'm not afraid of. I've made myself into a success story because every single challenge I've ever faced, every single thing that I've overcome, that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm a success today. That's why none of this has ever stopped me today. Is because I've never stopped. And I don't plan on stopping here. So, but I can do this, and I would appreciate the support. Because I know there's a lot of you out there that share the same passion for games like I do, the same for the hardware, the software, all these things that we invest in and that we pay for. But just remember too, these corporate people, they ain't gonna look after us. We have to look after ourselves. So we have to watch when we're investing that we don't get taken advantage of, because now that this hobby slash career for some of us of what they're charging for accessories, hardware, games, whatever it may be, that we just have to make sure that we're keeping an eye on it. Now, I'm not going to sit here and criticize Asha Sharma because she is doing good. She is making changes. Now, she might not be making all these like big, huge changes, but little by little, she's starting to make changes. Now, I'm hoping by next year, because she's staking her career on the success of Helix. So by next year, I'm hoping that with her staking her career on Helix, that there's big changes that are going to come and that they're going to be successful for Xbox. I mean, I like what she's doing, how she changed the achievement system. She has lowered Game Pass. She's made it affordable for people. She has not been afraid to step up and to tell, people at Xbox, okay, these changes need to be made. This needs to be adjusted. We need to look into why this is going on, why that's happening. Like, these are the changes that Xbox needs. And the way that she wants to change the dashboard, the boot up system. Now I seen last night too. I seen something about how AMD was talking about doing 4.1 for the Xbox Series X and S. And I caught a little bit of D-Batch of a recent YouTube stream he did. And he was talking a little bit about how they want to implement this into the current Xboxes and PlayStation 5. Now he says as far as the Xbox Series X, he said the only change according to AMD, the only change that they're figuring it'll make is better image quality, which that'll still be good nonetheless, just to have more cleaned up images. And if it does better for the Series S, who could complain about that? It'll help. Every little thing will help, because the thing is, every little improvement is better than nothing being done at all, and nobody's putting their foot forward. If somebody does put their foot forward, that's what needs to be done. Things being done as we go forward, that's what's going to matter. Of things being done that could be successful and bring Xbox back to where Xbox needs to be. That's the whole point here. Because you want Xbox to start going forward, to be prepared for the future. Because that's the thing. As we move forward, things have to evolve and change, and that's the whole company itself. It has to evolve. It has to change. We're in the era of Sharma. Now, you might be able to make some kind of catchphrase of me saying this is the era of Sharma, but it's true. You know, we're in the era of Asher Sharma as boss. We're in the era of Matt Booty discussing things, talking about things, where we're going to move from here. Him talking to his team, Asher Sharma talking to her team, Xbox getting things together. Sony's got to start pulling it together here, figuring what they're going to do, besides raising the consoles, pricing everyone out. What the heck is up with that, too? You know, I don't get that. Like, why are you going to raise prices on your PlayStation, yet you want people to buy the PlayStation to move up, but yet you're going to raise your prices? How is that going to make people want to go from PS4 to PS5? How is that going to make people want to invest in the long run to another another PlayStation system? Truthfully, when it's already tough enough, people don't get it. It's tough enough out there. Because everywhere you look, there's expenses going up. I mean, you could come after me. You could say whatever you want to say. I'm a big boy. I can sit here and take the criticism. I could sit here and take the insults if that's what you want to throw at me at the end of the day. But the truth is, it's true. Because what are you going to do here? I mean, you want people to be in the next gen. You want them to be a part of that. But how are you going to have people a part of that if you're having consoles that are $700-800? How's anybody going to come up with that whenever a car payment's more than that? Mortgages are more than that. Some people live in areas where their water bill is more than a game system. That expenses for people are more than a console. That you're lucky if a person can pay $70 or $80 for a game. Unless you have enough money set aside, unless you designate money aside for whatever game you want or whatever piece of hardware you want. You know, unless you're designating or saving money put aside for it, I can understand that. But if you're not even doing that, bro, then how are you going to even afford a console, like a whole console itself? How are you going to pay for a whole console to be in another generation when prices are going sky high? And because of RAM shortages. Now here's the thing though. I don't understand. These companies, when they're getting so much profit from these prior systems and they had so much money there, okay, you have the money to manufacture these chips, these chipsets, these motherboard sets. You had the income in the first place to start creating them and to start commissioning to make them, but now you're going to start saying that you don't have the money for the RAM, that you're running short to continue to make RAM for these systems. Yet you're a company that is grossing quite a few million or billion dollars and all that, but you're going to tell people now that you're having or you're going to tell people now that you may end up having a shortage. That's what I don't get. But when they knew they were going to be having to make consoles like this, and they knew that there was going to be another console generation to come, that they knew systems were going to get made again. I mean, they discussed these things ahead of time. They planned in boardrooms for this. These gaming companies, Sony, Xbox, they plan for these things to happen. They discuss it and then they talk to AMD. You know, Sony does the same thing. Nintendo, even. They plan these things out and all that, that you would figure planning these things out, and then AMD themselves, you figure they would also discuss with their people and have a plan of attack, so by the time that they're ready to make the RAM or they're ready to design it and make it, that they'll be ready by that time and not worry about a shortage. Because you think about how many people invest every year, every day, every year, every month. You know, all the money that gets invested in each and every product that people buy from these companies. Now, I'm sorry if I'm off on this tangent, but it does. It irritates me when these companies kind of like, they look for a way to cover their rears. Yeah, they look for a way to justify how they're going to cover their coattails so that way they can look good and make us as consumers look like the foolish ones. And that's what's ridiculous, is the way that they play it off. But they can't do that with people that are smart and understand exactly what they're doing. Because once you see the forest through the trees, once you see what these companies are doing and how they're playing it, that's when it becomes reality. Because then you start seeing how they're actually doing it. And then you know that they definitely got it, and they have plenty, because they pre-planned all of it. Why do you think that there's pre-orders? They pre-order because what do you think happens with that pre-order money? That pre-order money is what they use to invest for these chipsets. A portion of it is what they use toward the chipsets to be ready for whatever they're going to do next. That's what they do. Because it goes back in to the company. It gets circulated back into the company. So it's just a big crazy mess when you think about it. It's just one big chaotic situation after another, over and over again. I mean, am I excited because there's another console coming? I mean, yeah, I'm excited for it because I'd like to see another console out there. It would be cool. It's going to be awesome, yeah. Future technology, yeah, but the thing of it is, am I going to invest in it? Not really. Because I'm not going to be able to invest in it. I mean, not for a $1,200 price tag. Yeah, it's just not something that I'm going to invest in. Even if you throw Steam on this thing, I mean, the thing is, for me, I'm happy with my Xbox Series X. I've still had enjoyment from my system that I still have. And I get a blast out of still playing my games on that. Whenever I'm awake enough and alert enough, when I'm not so busy with having to go see this doctor or that doctor, or go here or go there, you know. When I have my time where I can sit and enjoy a game and not go too crazy, yeah. So, I still get enjoyment out of what I have. Even whenever they produce and they put the steam machine out there, it's not that much of a big deal to me, because the thing is, it's just another piece of technology, another piece of plastic that honestly, it's another gateway to get to the store. And to access their software that they have is what it really is. Is it going to bring some awesome graphics? Yeah. But what does it all come down to? Price. Price. And the thing of it is, I'm not going to be somebody that's just going to continuously go out there and look to invest in another console. Because you also got to think about time. When you also are a busy person that continuously has things to do, where do you find the time? Where do you find that time to be able to sit and play a game if you're a family man and you got stuff to do and places to go? You're lucky if you find time for something, or time to play games and enjoy games. Like, I'm lucky in between that I find time to do this for the channel, and even do the shorts and get gaming footage recorded to post up on the channel. But what I try to do is I'll try to designate time, for that. So that's where I end up doing that, because I try to balance my time in the best way I can. So, I'm excited for the future when these games drop, to see how they do. And I can't wait, especially for Grand Theft Auto 6, because there is a lot of things that they said in this one. Little bits of things about the police system, the changes, about you're going to be able to enter a lot more structures. They're going to up the police system, where if you drop somebody on the ground, they'll draw a chalk outline when they get the body. They're going to be able to look for you. It's going to be harder to escape the police. They'll be able to use a license plate tracker. There's a lot of awesome things, just little bits of things that I read online, of little bits of ideas, I guess, that they've been discussing of what they want to do, or what they are wanting to do, or what they've done to make it a lot more exciting. So I'm excited for that, to see what they've managed to do in this game and what they managed to pull off. Another game I can say that I'm excited for and can't wait to see what has been done is Division 3. I'm excited to see what they managed to do with this one. How far they've taken the story with Division 3. I'm excited to see what they managed to do with this one. What did they do differently in this one that they have not been able to do in the others? What changes were made in this one that made it different? Now, I know they didn't change the game too much. I think they said they were going to stay with the same story, but I heard that we're going to have different missions in it. So I guess the missions in it were going to be different. So yeah, I guess there's going to be different missions in it. So yeah. So I'm excited there to see how that's going to go with that one. So yeah, I mean, lots of cool things on the way. The summer showcase is coming up soon in June down in LA. Um, I'm excited. I'm not sure what they'll show off down there. So I'm leaving that as a surprise for myself um, to what ends up down there, truthfully, and what we see. Because I like to be a little bit surprised. I don't see I don't see certain mega titles being shown off too much down there. Um, Grand Theft Auto 6 probably will not be shown off down there because basically there's a deal between Sony and Rockstar North. Because I know that whenever GTA 6 drops, that's going to drop on PlayStation. Because I do remember hearing my buddy Mag, who basically was talking about it. He knows some people, and I guess, you know, because of previous iterations of it before as well has dropped on PlayStation before, I guess they're going to go to route of PlayStation again. So, but either way, I mean, it's going to come to other systems because Rockstar will do it. They will do it only for the Xbox Series X and S stuff. They will stay current gen. And the reason why they're going to stay current gen is because these systems now that are here, they're going to be able to handle what is being done with Grand Theft Auto 6. So all the things, the bells, the whistles that are going into it will be able to be handled by current gen, period. Current gen and future gen that will be able to handle the game itself. Because you'll see why as soon as the game comes out, why they're doing that. So, but honestly, I can say right now too that it will be worth if you're not on Xbox Series X and S or PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 5 Pro, you're missing out. Because the current gen, I have not been disappointed playing my Xbox. You know, the graphics you get, the fun you can have. Like, I run high-speed internet that runs at like 12,000 to 13,000 megabytes per second. And I'm not disappointed at all by the performance I get out of each and every one of my games. I'm not disappointed at sitting there and playing on my Xbox when I do of the blast that I have playing my games. So this current gen is worth being a part of. So, you know, I get the nostalgia factor though, and I get the factor of having the older gen. But when you see these games now, you'll see why it'll be fun. Because we are in for a treat when they start releasing these higher graphic games and stuff. What AMD's been doing behind the scenes with the chipsets, the motherboards, the things that I just don't agree with is the way that they're trying to sucker punch us, so to speak, with the cash and all that, and getting it out of our wallets. They're not getting it out of mine, that's for sure. Because I still will not invest. Like, I will invest in something if I see it's worth it for me, but otherwise, you ain't gonna end up punching me out and taking my lunch money. I hope you hear me, Sony, and I hope you hear me, Microsoft, that you will not knock me out and steal my lunch money and run away. That's not what you're going to do with me. You ain't taking advantage of me like that. It's not like we're in high school here, where you used to be, or where the way high school used to be. You remember those bullies? You remember those bullies growing up? The ones that say, I'm going to knock you out, and I'm going to take your lunch money and run away with it. Well, guess what? That's not happening to me here. They're not suckering this guy here. Because I will invest if I see changes. So, if you want my investment, then when I start seeing real change, I'll invest. The reason why I invest in Game Pass is because I seen real change whenever Asha Sharma actually made that change. Nobody else made that change. Asha Sharma did. And to continue to lower it when PlayStation raises it up, I hope that Xbox, in a way, pulls ahead. Asha Sharma's making changes that PlayStation doesn't even want to. But truthfully, I'm not getting suckered in. Like, you're not going to see me spend millions of dollars on something that my money can go elsewhere for important things. Like building this channel up, for instance. Getting a better camera. Getting a better tripod system for recording. Getting a better way to record videos for this channel. Now, eventually I'm going to invest to get a better way to record so we get better quality videos in the future. Maybe a better quality way for me to have a mic to use, and somewhere in the future, a better way for a device for having a mic or whatever. And I mean, those things will come though. Those things will come. Because in order to run a show like this, it takes a lot. It takes a lot, but it's a worthwhile thing. And it's something I love doing. So, as long as there's this hobby here, and as long as gaming exists, I'm going to be here. Rest assured, I'll be here. So, but basically, that's a few subjects. Like, I'm glad to hear that so far on the 21st of June, we should be seeing a trailer for Grand Theft Auto 3. Or, no, for Grand Theft Auto 6, we should get a third trailer by June 21st. Because that is basically what was in the article after the earnings call today. So that is basically the date that they have set, is June 21st. Now, I mentioned the month of June, like I said before. So I basically said around summertime. Because I did remember hearing something about summertime. I can't believe I had that in my head and remembered that. So, I'll be excited, I'll be excited to see how much more progress has been made on GTA 6 since they have been at it. But feel free, drop in the chat with me. You guys can talk. My chat's interactive. So, this is a live show we're doing right now. Because right now, currently, we are at the 1 hour mark of the show already, chilling with Top Gamer. So, my whole title is Top Gamer Pro 2025, but I decided for this show, it's chilling with Top Gamer. So, but like I said, I'm excited. June 21st, mark your calendars, because that is basically the date that they are talking about that trailer for GTA 6, Trailer 3. In the summer. So, but Division 3, they also said, is soon to come. That is soon to be showing up as well. So if you're also excited for that, let me hear you. Bring that excitement, bring that anticipation for that, especially if you're a Division 2 fan. Yeah. So, now I don't know as well if Take-Two Interactive had any discussions in reference to their sports end of things either in their earnings call. Because the thing is, I also heard something about where they had to lay off a percentage of their team that was also working on their sports games. Now, I don't know if you heard about how they had to lay off a portion of their team that was working on their NBA basketball games and the 2K wrestling games. They had also mentioned something about the Lego games, because I guess they had to lay off a little bit of that staff from those studios there that was working on those. So I don't know if they also discussed that in the earnings call. I don't think they did, but they could have. But that other stuff, as far as the sports games are concerned and things like that, they probably discussed that. Most likely that was more of like a side note type of thing that they discussed that. So I don't think that was like an upfront type of thing. I think that was more like maybe a side talk or a side chat about it. Either way, that's not going to affect me any, because as far as the wrestling games now, or the wrestling franchise now, it's crazy now. Because they get into big, huge messes with these franchises, and sometimes they get into these messes where they end up having to lay off a workforce. But the bad part is when they do this, folks. Now, here's what we have to worry about. When they do this, it's a sign where AI could start taking the place of people. And that can be a concern a little bit. Because I've been hearing where certain supermarket chains are also now starting to go the way of AI, where jobs are getting, or people are getting replaced with robots. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's really a good idea, truthfully, because, yeah, in some ways you might think that's going to be more efficient, and that's going to be something that's going to work well. Yeah. But most of all, yeah, it's going to make it crazier in the gaming industry. Because the gaming industry itself, when you think all the way back to like the early 80s, video games have always been created by people, by a workforce of people. This is way back I'm talking. I'm talking arcade games, I'm talking Atari, I'm talking like Nintendo, PlayStation 1, Apple computers, way before you had iPhones. I'm talking like the technology that these kids now call the Stone Age. Because that's what the young bucks now call it is, Dad, do you realize that's like the Stone Age, man? That's the Stone Age, bruh. Bruh. Like, when I mention things like this is what I used to grow up on, son. That's the Stone Age, bruh. Dude, that's the Stone Age, man. I said, this is what got me through my childhood, boy. I grew up with the Atari. I grew up with the original PlayStation, the Apple computer before there was even an Apple iPhone or an Apple Watch and all that, and AOL and dial-up and the first iteration of Yahoo, and before you had all this fancy stuff. I mean, this was my childhood, and it was awesome because that was the first of everything, even the OG Xbox, and I'm talking the big OG Xbox, the first iteration of Xbox. Now I remember when I owned that sucker, it was fun. That was my first taste of Xbox. And I had fun on it, but I also got to experience other systems, which, the PlayStation 1, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360. And when I went through other ones, they were okay. Weren't the greatest for me. But the biggest one I believe that I enjoyed the most, and then I settled right back onto, was Xbox. And I came right back to Xbox. I've been on Xbox since. So, and it hasn't disappointed me. But those games back then is what made me fall in love with gaming in the first place. The spectacular thing, the story-driven narratives, the awesome worlds of gaming, the mechanics, the fun things that they turn games into that gets you hooked into them. The things that make you play until you can't stop. I mean, these are the things that make gaming what it is today. And if we didn't have the gaming the way it is today, or if we didn't have gaming back then, let me correct myself. If we didn't have gaming back then, the way it was back then, I don't think we would have had the gaming today. Because back when I was growing up, it being so different, it helped gaming to evolve. It gave them a basic idea, and each creation of it, they found new ideas, and they found new ways to improve it, to make it better. That's the thing that you got to realize with gaming is every single console generation, they always found a way to improve and make it better. Because they never let themselves be stuck in one place. Every single year, gaming changed. Because they always found a way to make that next big thing, that next big console, accessory, headset, everything to it, stories in the games, ways to change it, to evolve it. Same goes for like the Apple company, making the iPhone, the Apple iWatch. Like all of the technology now is out because these companies didn't just sit and twiddle their thumbs. They evolved, they grew, they changed with the times. And the way you can notice how these companies change with the times is they're still here. Companies that did not change with the times, they're the ones that are gone. They don't exist. Why? Because they weren't willing to change. They weren't willing to come up with new ideas. They weren't willing to challenge themselves. They weren't willing to see how much they could change and improve and get better. And that's the thing with gaming. They're getting better and better. They're changing, but the only way that they're changing is by not getting complacent. And we can't be complacent. We have to be alert. We got to keep our eyes open so we don't have the blinders put over our eyes. So these greedy corporations don't fool us. Because the one thing in this country is we have the freedom to choose of what we're going to invest in, what's worth investing in. We've always had that choice. I mean, is this technology awesome and cool? Yeah. But, big thing, no. Not if you have a family to think of and loved ones that are around you and things you want to do for those people that you love. But always remember that this is a hobby as well. I might do this because this is something that I consider a job / a hobby. But this is also something I love because it's been an awesome hobby. It's been an awesome selection of doing this for a career. I would have not picked, Like, I've done these different jobs as a jack of all trades and stuff like that, but um, it was great at the time until it messed up my back. And it did get me somewhat in physical shape, but the torture now that I live, I'm grateful for YouTube, I'm grateful for Google that stuff like this exists. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have had another alternative, another way to go, to be able to have this as my job. And to have gaming as a hobby slash job. So, but feel free, jump in here. Let's discuss. We're at the first hour so far. But, I've talked a lot and I've mentioned like things that, how I feel about things, and mentioned a little bit of some topics about some things, how I feel and where I stand with a lot of things. But I think there's a lot of great things on the horizon to come. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, we're not going to have a disappointing year. We got an entire year full of games to come. But we can pick and choose which ones we're going to invest in and put in our library, and we can choose how we're going to do things for ourselves, for our systems, and like how we're going to have our games be. Like, we don't have to buy the stuff just because it's out there. We don't have to get it because it's out there. We can get it and stuff like that if we choose to, but no one twists our arms into buying what's out there. It's our choice whether or not we invest in it. But it's awesome. It's awesome to see how far gaming has come. It is awesome to see how much it has evolved and how much changes they have made over the years to this, over the years. Like, it is awesome to see the changes they've made, even for the betterment of gaming. So it's really cool to see all the changes they made to make this better. For the games itself, the hardware, software. But I want to know from you guys, I want to hear from you guys of what you guys think. Of what games that are out there that you guys can think of what you're going to invest in. How much that you're going to be cautious with all this to come. I like to hear input from people in my community. This is your chance to come and ask me questions, or this is your chance to just let me know what is on your mind, what you're thinking about all the chaos of GTA 6, the third trailer that'll be on the way. June 21st is what I've seen or what I've heard. That's pretty much the date that I seen after the earnings call today. That's pretty much what they're saying out there about it. Division 3 is soon to drop. We got James Bond dropping next week on Monday. We got that to be excited for, that to look forward to. Plus many others. We got the Xbox Showcase that will be around the corner coming in June. We got that to be looking forward to. So we don't know what's going to be introduced within the showcase itself. So Right now, we don't even have any idea what lineup Jeff Keighley's going to have. We don't even know what they've set up for him to talk about or for Jeff Keighley to discuss. We don't know what's coming as far as that is concerned. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really been crazy this year from what I keep seeing. And every day when I'm scrolling through my Facebook and every other news feed, I'm seeing these games that are potential games, actual ones that they're releasing for PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, Steam, PlayStation, remakes, remasters, or just like entirely brand new ones. It shocks me at first because it's like, whoa. It's like, whoa. Like now more than ever, games are like popping out there. And it's a good thing. I mean, it's not bad that we're seeing this happening because really, when you think about it, how many years have you guys seen where we were not getting lineups of games like this? How many years can you guys think of where we had dry spots of no games being released, no developers really releasing video games at all, titles not dropping. Nobody wanted to put anything out there. Yeah, it's been crazy. And the thing of it is, how do you expect to make any money if you're not going forward to make any games to put out there? It's plain and simple. Because if you are not willing to produce and put games out there, you ain't gonna survive. And the thing of it is, in order to be top dog, you have to be the one that's actually really succeeding. You have to be producing your product. You have to be putting games out there to make it. And nowadays, more than ever, you either have to evolve or you're done. Because here's the thing. It's only one direction. Up. Because the thing of it is, you either change with the times or that's it. Yeah, you're done for. Because why do you think you see these businesses getting signs on them saying, oh, sorry, going out of business? Because they're not willing to change with the times. So what's happening is they're having to go out of business because they cannot sustain and change to be able to keep their business running. And it's sad when you see that. Or when you see these game development companies that have so much potential to make awesome games, but when they're not wanting to, or they're not willing to do it, and then that's it. Yeah, they just give it up. They give it up, they walk away and say, forget it. Like, how messed up are you? When there's so many people that invest in these titles, these games, and They invest in the microtransactions of these games. You got players willing to continue to invest in your product, but you're not willing to keep your product alive, even though people are willing to invest and sit there and play it. Which is messed up. Because that's why people go to other games and other franchises. Because you're not willing to keep the franchise alive that that person plays, so that's why people go elsewhere. Unless you are willing to keep that franchise of yours alive, that's the only way that you're going to evolve, and that's the only way you're going to keep a player base. You're only as good as the amount of a player base you have for your product. If you're producing a ton of games, you're going to keep players involved. You're going to keep them investing. You're going to keep them wanting to play. Power to the players. You know, players will keep playing as long as you keep producing that quality product. You keep producing that quality game, you are always going to have players wanting to play it. But if that game turns around and starts to suck, well, guess what? You could forget that game being played again by another player. Because if there's things that start going wrong in the game, do you think that player is going to want to stay? No. Because the thing of it is, that player is going to start pointing out the flaws, and then they're going to write you, and they're going to be like, well, what's going on here? And, you know, for a while there, this game was okay, but what's happening now, guys? You know, why is it glitching? Why is it messed up? You know, why is it acting like this now? You guys were doing okay before. What's happening here? You know, that's just how crazy and chaotic it can be. And how fast things can change. I mean, you could have a game go from awesome, cool, and exciting to crappy really quick. Especially if it's not being done in the right way, it's not being produced in the right way. Yeah. I mean, if you're not doing something that you should be doing for it, yeah. I mean, that's just what is ridiculous about some of these, about some of these games. I've also been talking about RAM shortages. Now they're saying PlayStation 6, according to prices and according to RAM shortages, there could be a delay of PlayStation 6 till the year 2028 to 2029. Now that is because of RAM shortages. Now that's what I heard in an article. Because I read this article word for word from top to bottom, that because of the RAM shortages, that they are saying there could be a possibility of the PS6 being delayed that long. Now, I think it's crazy because that's what we've been hearing about off and on. RAM shortage, RAM shortage, RAM shortage. I'm getting tired of hearing RAM shortage. Oh, sorry, we're having a shortage at our company, so that's why we didn't have enough of this or we didn't have enough of that. Like, look at the dude. You're saying RAM shortage for PlayStation. Look who else had a shortage. Oh, sorry, we were sure that we had enough controllers to send out to everybody for the scene controllers. Like they even had a shortage on those. Like seriously. Oh, but we're sorry. We thought we had enough. Okay, dude. You said you thought you had enough. As a company, a big company, or even a little company, shouldn't you have maybe done a little bit of planning ahead of time? Planning is better to do than just releasing a product and assuming that you're going to have enough. So that's why that I think from here on out that a lot of these companies need to consider a better planning strategy way ahead of this stuff coming next year. That start getting things together, because the thing of it is, you're going to have people depending on the products. You're going to have people depending on things being there, and they're going to be depending on the straight up success of things as it comes, and as things get released. Just like people have been anticipating games to drop whenever they're supposed to. Even trailers for games. There's been times there's been delays for trailers for other games too. So, but hopefully, like, when it comes to all this hardware and stuff like that, hopefully they get stuff ironed out, and these companies start having it all together, and they get themselves prepared, because like I said, come next year, it's going to be a bigger year than ever, especially whenever the Helix is introduced and many other things get introduced. These companies have to be on the up and up, because it will be a big year when the Helix drops. And it will be a big year for a lot of things in the industry, in the gaming industry. Because it's not going to be like no small thing here whenever stuff drops. Not next year. So, I mean, I've been amazed by what has been done so far, and some things that they have managed to straighten out. Whenever they've managed to straighten them out on the fly, it's awesome to see what they've managed to do and straighten out on the fly. That's a good thing, so, But, I think pretty much I've covered a good bit of stuff. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. So if there's anybody that wants to come in and chat, feel free. I don't mind people coming in and giving their opinions. Sometimes I get these like streaks where I start like talking about a bunch of different things, but I'm passionate about this. I'm hoping for some great things to come out of everything. But I'm hoping that we have a little bit less chaos than there's been in this industry. But anybody that's been in this industry for a long time knows that controversy creates cash. So, yeah. So without controversy, there'd be no cash getting made. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else here at the top of the first hour. It's almost 2 hours now. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I was thinking about that I had to cover. I pretty much covered what I thought about Grand Theft Auto 6, my excitement for Division 3, even the excitement for Hitman 4. Not really excited come next week though, guys, because I got a bunch of doctor's appointments next week. I have about 3 of them in a row. Got to go for my physical, which I'm not looking forward to that. But, you know, got to keep up with my own health. So, but like I said, if you want to come in and ask me questions or just come in and chill and talk, chat's always open, you know. Like I said, I will be working hard to try and get videos out there. I will be working hard to try to continue to get content out there in the way that I can by recording videos through my phone and posting them up. Like I said, I'm trying to reach about, I think it's 50,000 subscribers, I believe, before I can do live through my phone. Eventually I will be looking into better ways, like a better cam to do my recording with. But like I said, that stuff will come. You know, with your support and you helping out as well. Yeah, I mean, I pay for all the bills around my house and stuff like that to keep the lights on. Eventually, I want to get some studio lights in here that'll give somewhat better lighting than I have right now. Because right now I use my living room light, and that only gives like so much light as you see. Because I record or I do this live show in my living room of my townhouse. So you can figure it only giving so much light. So, but I'm gonna start doing some things to better the show, to make things more interactive, eventually. So, like I said, stuff will come, slowly. So, slowly but surely, we will be getting some things here that'll improve it. Like I said, I'm sorry I didn't get a video out today. I got pretty exhausted. And like I said, I had to stretch out, take a little bit of a nap, get a little bit of a power nap in before I started the show tonight, because I needed some sleep. Because I've had like busy days, 2 appointments in a row. My son had an appointment plus a physical today, and next week running again. But I will try to get a video out. I have Division 2 and Hitman to still do and all that. So I would appreciate some input on what you guys would want to see. So you can let me know through here whether you tune in right now and give a vote of what you would want to see. You can let me know what you would like to see as far as a video for the channel. I have Division 2, like I said. I got, what else did I say? Hitman 2, I could do a video on. It'll probably be tomorrow after I get some running done, because I got to go up to my local Walmart and pick up medicine for my kid. But yeah, other than that, nothing else really I have. But I will try to get another video up here. But I appreciate the input. If you can give me some advice, what you would like to see, or better ways I can improve the channel. But like I said, with your continued support, I can turn this channel into something. But it'll take us time. But I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to the showcase. Looking forward to Geoff Keighley, what he's going to be talking about, what they're going to have him put on the show, or what they're putting on the show, and what he's going to be discussing. I'm interested to see what games that are going to be put out there on the show, what kind of card that they're going to have for Geoff Keighley, and I'm interested to see what kinds of things are going to start happening for the or in the summer showcase. I'm looking forward to Wolverine and how much that'll be a success. I also, like I said, I seen that the Wolverine game is going to be coming out. Now, when I caught that on Facebook, when I seen about Wolverine, I didn't see a release date, but I did see that Wolverine is going to be coming out. Or not Wolverine, sorry, Venom. The Venom game that they've been talking about, that they want to bring out, it's actually going to be coming out. But when I caught the article, they didn't say too much in reference to when that is coming out. They said a little bit about it, but they didn't say too much on that factor of that. Also, too, let's see. And then I also seen about Cyberpunk 2 and all that's coming out for, it looks like 2027 or 2028. And that's going to be put through the Unreal Engine. It's being put through the Unreal graphic engine. So it's looking like that's going to be a cool game in itself, that is going to be on the way as well. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. Because I know the first Cyberpunk, there were so many different opinions on it. Some people had this opinion on it, that opinion on it. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. I mean, of course, everybody has different opinions about every game out there. Not everybody has the same opinion on games, which is understandable because, you know, we all come from different walks of life, and we all have different tastes. So not everybody's going to be the same of what they like as far as games. So that's understandable as far as that. I'm hoping though with Cyberpunk 2 that this will be a better success than Cyberpunk 2077 was. I'm hoping that this one actually turns out much better than the first. So, but for everybody that has tuned in, for everybody that may have watched the show throughout, my rants and the stuff that I've managed to cover. Like I said, if you want to leave your opinions in the chat, you can do that. Of what games you would like to see me record to put up on the channel. Like I said, I got Hitman 2, I got Division 2, I got Grand Theft Auto 5 online that I could run from time to time to mix it up. I still have 2K25 still on my Xbox yet. So, but I can try to mix up things and do a little bit of a variety. But I got to get up, make sure my son gets off to school tomorrow. So, but other than that, I'm going to wrap it up right here because we are hitting almost the 2-hour mark, and I said around 10 or 11 that I would run the show till. But if you catch up to this later, just drop me a line in the comment section, drop me a like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy what I do on this channel. I would appreciate the continued support so we can help this channel to grow, so I can do a lot more with it in the future, and hopefully get some better equipment to start making better videos for my game recording, and even better equipment for, in the long run, running live shows. But like I said, if you like what I bring to this channel, you like what I do for it, it's entirely up to you how you support this channel. Even if you swipe the other way on it, it doesn't hurt me none. I come on, give my opinions of how I feel about stuff, and it comes from me. So you can either take it or leave it. But I just wanted to come on here, say a couple of things how I feel, but hopefully you enjoy it, and if you want to support it, I'd be more than gracious about it. Take care, and most of all, enjoy games as much as you can, and try to enjoy things in between. Don't let yourself go too crazy out there in this world today, which sometimes that's a little bit easier said than done. But most of all,